Hi there, as usually it's me, just a voiceover. You're watching Review Machines, and this is newest quad, which is called Segway Snarler. Yes, you might know this brand Segway by their well-known electric gyro scooters and other electric vehicles. But this time they decided to break into the ATV market with this all-new ATV quad. The main idea of the project is to create a new machine that would be both brutal and heavy-duty and beautiful, full of new features at the same time. Today we are going to make a thorough test of this new machine, so make some tea and get comfortable, my friends, we are to start right now. Well, they promised some new features, so what are they? The main innovation is to make a hybrid power unit that combines both electric and gas engines. But such a solution we will see in the nearest future. And for now, we've got for review a quad equipped just with gas engine. So, as for the power unit, it's pretty standard. But look at this dope exterior. To my mind, it looks really outstanding, doesn't it? In fact, we see here a well-considered design. Besides, the build quality is also impressive. All the details, joints and every gears look very neat and qualitative. Let's look closer. This model is equipped with one-cylinder 570cc 44 HP engine, working together with CVT transmission. The cylinder is inclined backwards, and engine is installed right in the middle of the frame. That provides a perfect weight distribution. Under the seat we have a direct access to the cylinder and a spark plug. I should mention that we review just a standard modification of the ATV without any additional options. So we are glad to see here a winch, power bumpers, Talon gear, hands protection, back seat for a passenger. All this stuff comes complete with the standard quad. There are two models, with a long and a short frame. This one is a long, so it's quite comfortable to sit here together with the passenger. There are durable handles for him. The lights of the quad are definitely worth mentioning, they look dope. As to me, we have here the best looking lights of all serial produced ATVs. It even resembles Tesla in some way, so I hope soon we will see a full electric quad. There is a glove box at the front, with USB sockets inside, and there is a rear trunk for some tools and accessories. The handlebar is pretty standard, lights and winch control at the left, and the drive modes control at the right. Well, let's get it started. It sounds rather pleasant. At least there is nothing irritating. The display is quite big and bright, with all the necessary info. By the way, there is a special app for this ATV, but it should be registered by the owner of the quad, so we can't show you how it works now. But we can show how the quad works. Let's go! As usually, first of all, I'd like to ride it myself, to get the very first impressions about the quad. By the way, I have my own ATV, which is called Guepard, so now I can compare them in some way. Well, definitely, it's a vehicle of much higher level. It's much more comfortable and easier to handle. It feels like a good crossover, well built and qualitative. Speaking about the power, I can't say I was greatly impressed. It feels just like a standard 500cc engine, neither dull nor aggressive. As to the sound, it's quite pleasant and not annoying. A Snarler, it's a good name for this quad. Generally speaking, my very first emotions are quite positive, but let more experienced driver show us what this quad can really do. But before we will continue the riding, we should look at another important feature. There is an advanced independent suspension system, and you can adjust it for yourself, or for moving with the passenger. The front suspension travel is 180mm and 210mm at the rear. Let's look how it works in practice. And it's clear from the very first meters that the suspension works pretty well. We are moving now on quite rough ground, but the suspension manages to provide rather comfortable riding and allow us to move at a high speed. The locks like this are almost not felt by a rider when crossing them. By the way, the system looks durable enough even for making some jumps. Well, our Snarler is sweeping through the forest like a wild beast hunting his prey. It's rather exciting to watch it. The weight of the ATV is 384 kilos. It's pretty a lot. But the engine is torquey. The torque is 48 Newton meters, so the acceleration is rather fast. It takes just about 5 seconds to hit 60 km per hour. Together with the effective suspension, Quad has a perfect weight distribution, and this feature provides a very accurate handling of the machine. Besides, there is a low gravity center that also do a lot of good for handling. There are 3 modes of the power steering: Standard, Comfort and Sport. And in a Sport mode, the ATV allows to go on rough terrain with the maximum speed. It seems our Snarler is pretty good for decent forest roads. But what about a serious off-roading? Firstly, as we have already seen, there are power bumpers with integrated winch. The ground clearance on standard tires is 270 mm. Speaking about the transmission, there is a low gear. Then we have here the following modes: a rear drive, all-wheel drive, lock the front differential, and lock the rear diff. Well, as we can see, we have a full set of options to tackle the severest off-roading. We need to try it on practice now. All the diff locks provide the decent off-roading capabilities, so it didn't come as a full surprise for us that Snarler is rather capable of moving in dirt. On the other hand, the standard tires are not very large, and the tire tread is not aggressive. That is why it's limited now in the severe conditions. I would rather install bigger wheels here, if the transmission is durable enough to handle them. Though it should be durable, taking into account that the hybrid version with more than 100 HP power will be used with the same transmission. Meantime, we managed finally to get stuck. It's a deep puddle with a swampy ground, so despite all the diff locks, it turned out a serious obstacle for our quad. Well, it's a good reason to test our winch. The winch managed to pull out the vehicle, but it was a hard task for it, and sometimes it didn't have enough power. But after all, we managed to break out from this trap. Let's go on. Meantime, it's getting dark, but we have some more tests. So let's hurry up. It's definitely a bad idea to test maximum speed after off-roading. All the wheels rims are soiled and unbalanced. But for all that, it's interesting to check it. Let's go. "99 km per hour. It's a decent result taking into account unbalanced wheels. We even compared the speedometers to make sure the result is precise. And finally, let's speak about the prices. In the US, long version, as this one, costs $12,400, and the short version costs $11,400. Please post your comments, guys, what you think of this quad. Are you ready to change your brand for it? Thanks for having ride with us, my friends. Consider subscribing the channel if you like this video. Stay with us, there will be many more interesting materials here. Goodbye.